Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested.
And Frank from Tested.
And we are back with another episode of Shop Tips, a series in which we share with you some tools and techniques that, Frank, you've acquired over the years fabricating in your beautiful shop.
Yeah, some stuff's super obvious, some stuff's a little obscure. I don't know, maybe you've heard it before.
You know, today it's a topic that may seem pretty obvious. We've all used dust masks to some extent. For painting your house,
too. Yep.
Respirators, but we want to educate you guys on what exactly is the difference.
Safety never takes a vacation, Norm.
Really?
Never.
Okay.
Not in this shop.
No vacation, no vacation, no sick time either, no sick leave for safety. This is a dust mask.
Yeah. Dust masks are used for just filtering out particulates. If you're sanding, if you're cutting wood, if you're grinding, this isn't for chemical use. I've seen people use those with spray can, like rattle cans, that gets rid of the particulate of the paint, but that doesn't do anything about the solvents that are inside of rattle cans.
But there looks like some piece of some filter thing here. What's that?
That's a valve, just so that when you're exhaling, you're not keeping all that hot, stinky breath inside of your dust mask.
Yeah, this is actually...
These are like a little... These are kind of cushy. These are kind of nice.
Right.
There's also like really like much cheaper paper ones and stuff like that. But anytime you're sanding or grinding or doing things where there's things in the air, even mixing plaster, like a lot of people don't think about that, but all that dust from the plaster that you're mixing, that can get in your lungs and that's just not good for you.
All right. And then a respirator.
And a respirator. This also has that cloth filter to keep the particulates out, but it also has this inorganic cartridge, which keeps all the solvents out, so that when you're using spray paint or spraying chemicals or using any kind of solvents, you want to use this. So that's it. It's just the difference between just dust and chemicals.
And you should have both in your shop if you're going to be working with paint.
Yeah.
Now, putting these on, everyone puts them on differently, and maybe it's not so obvious how you put them on.
Dust mask, I think, is fairly simple. You got the couple of rubber bands, stretch them around your head. And then you pinch right here. It's a little piece of metal.
That's an important part. I never pinch.
Yeah.
And you got to pinch.
You got to pinch that because otherwise you get a gap here. I've also seen people take a little piece of Kleenex and put it on there, which helps seal that gap there if you have like the cheaper ones. But this one seals real nice.
Right. The whole point is to have a seal around your face,
so that your mouth and your nose is not inhaling dust and debris.
And that's why having the valve there is important, because when you breathe out and you don't have that, it kind of inflates and it pushes it out and a little bit. It gets uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable, really. And then this one, keep that tight. Okay.
All right, there you go. That's a respirator.
And, oops.
So that popped out. How much maintenance is there in updating? Can you just have this in your shop, use it for a couple of years and be okay? Or
Well,
do you need to clean
these
them
cartridges have a shelf life on them. Whether you keep it, like I've seen people that put them in a plastic bag thinking that it's going to save the cartridge, it doesn't. Like once you open it, then it starts depleting the filter that's in here. Some of them are charcoal filters, some of them other kind of filters. Once you open it out of the sealed package, then it starts going. And you got to look on the instructions and see what the timelines are, because all the cartridges are different. But you can just turn this thing off. You can just replace the cartridge. You don't have to buy a whole new respirator. And all the respirators are different. Some of them are fixed. Some of them just have one big one in the center. Find something that's a brand that has refills and that's going to be around for a while, so you don't have to like buy a new one all the time.
Awesome. Very good tip for people with any size shop. And we have no excuses now. If we're going to be sanding or painting, spray painting in the future, airbrushing, we should probably have a dust mask or a respirator. Well,
I mean, there's the caveat that in a giant shop like this, if I'm just using my airbrush and just spraying some paint, like if it's water-based paint, I'm probably going to be okay.
Right.
Especially once I get the spray booth into the shop, then I'll have that forced air like circulating through the shop. This, solvents and big stuff.
All right.
A little airbrush, I think you're okay.
Read the labels.
Yeah.
Safety, it never takes a holiday.
So it never takes a vacation.
Never takes a vacation, or as the British say, a holiday. Well, we'll be back with another shop tip in the future. Please post your own tips in the comments below if you work in the shop of any size, things you've learned over the years, and otherwise we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, Frank.